Yo guys, what's up? It's me, G, your boy, the one and only. I know I missed you, and you missed me too. So I wanted to come here today and kind of help you guys really figure out the difference, right? The big difference between being like rank 20, rank 12, green rank, purple rank, red rank, and rank 1, right? What is the big secret that some people are just not finding when it comes to being a rank 1 killer? I've been a rank 1 killer multiple times. Right now I'm just testing out different killers and kind of getting more of a feel for how they kind of work and how they kind of feel to me. But one thing that I do realize is a big issue for most people is that they're missing the one key ingredient, right? The one key ingredient that makes you an awesome killer. The one that stops you from being purple and getting smacked by greens to being ranked like what 2 to 1 and smacking reds. And honestly, that's map pressure, right? And I want to explain to you guys what map pressure is. And if you guys could be so kind, if you like the video, please leave it a like. That really helps me out. And please, 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 please let me know in the comment section below if you agree with what I'm saying. If you're rank 1 and you disagree, I would love to hear your opinions. So please, please, please let me know. And let's get into it. Okay, so map pressure. I wanted to really explain what map pressure is, right? Because I feel like a lot of people don't really get the concept of map pressure, right? And I want to explain that by looking at some of the killers and kind of explaining what their tools are and how you can better like prepare what the plan is, right? So when we look at a killer that's kind of weak, like Trickster's main issue is that he lacks map pressure. Now a lot of people may say, oh, you know, Trickster's decent, he's good, but the real issue with Trickster is that he doesn't have the tools necessary in order to continue to keep map pressure. Now when I say map pressure, I mean giving something for the survivors to do that's not gens, right? So if they are talking about, what's the case? Like if we're talking about downing people, putting them on hooks, you got to get a survivor off the gen in order to get them off the hook, right? And that's where slugging comes into play, and things like that. There's several different strategies that killers can use to get their 4Ks and 3Ks, but honestly, having crazy amounts of map pressure is the best way to do it. So what a lot of people like to do is they like to run gen regression, right? They like to run pop, corrupt. You may see a where is it ruin undying combo. If you're blight, you'll run, or oni, you'll run like tinkerer, right? There's several gen regression perks. I feel like the best are pop, corrupt as a combo, ruin undying as a combo. You can run dying light, that's one I don't really see much. Discordance, surveillance, like all these are combos, right? And what it's meant to do is whenever you do have map pressure, not a lot of it, but a little bit, right? You put somebody down, you put them on a hook, somebody's to come off a gen, but the moment that gen has came off, you can either pop it with Pop Ghost Weasel, or you can have it regress with Ruin, and that creates passive map pressure, right? But what a lot of rank 1 killers do is that they kind of move past that phase of having the map pressure come from perks, and they kind of do it themselves, right? So when you're playing somebody like Huntress, right? Let me go over the Huntress. When you're playing somebody like Huntress takes people down from range. What a lot of Huntress mains will do is they'll down somebody pretty quickly, right? Hit them with some crazy hatchet shots, and then hook them. The moment they hook them, they kind of look around, and if they find somebody quickly, they'll put pressure on them. Or you may see this scenario where they won't even hook them at all. They'll do something called slugging, and they'll leave them down and then chase somebody else and kind of down them as well. Now, a lot of you may be like, well, why would you leave somebody down when they can easily get up and break your ankles? That's a great question. And it's honestly again, to create map pressure, right? Because somebody has to come off the gen in order to pick them up. So what you're going to do is, even if you don't down the second guy, you injured him, he's going to have to heal at some point. You go back to the first guy, another person came off the hook, bada bing, bada boom, he got injured. You know, what is he supposed to do about that situation? You know what I mean? So in my opinion, and this is just me, you know, G may be crazy, is the best killers are killers that can create great map pressure easily, right? So when you look at some of the higher tier killers like Nurse, Spirit, Hag, who else would I consider? Blight. Blight's amazing. You know, killers like that. The reason that they're so good is because they're creating so much map pressure, either with downing people super quickly or always pushing people off gens, right? Like Nurse, she downs people very quickly, and with Infectious Fright, she always owns somebody, so they don't have time to do gens. Spirit, she downs people very quickly, and it's really hard to counter Spirit. And Blight is just a speedy person, and he's gonna break all the pallets and hit you all the time, and you're not gonna really be able to do much, right? And it's really crazy to me how a lot of people don't understand the concept of map pressure, and honestly, it's something that I'm trying to understand myself, right? I'm trying to get it myself. I'm not the best at creating map pressure myself because I'm so used to having perks do it for me that now I'm trying to work my way out of that, right? So I want to talk to you about a little bit more of the other options when it comes to killers. So those killers are more of, you know, you can down them very quickly, but what happens when you can't down them quickly, right? When you're running somebody like Wraith. So Wraith's whole thing is he's a stealthy boy. He comes around, he hits you, right? To me, Wraith always guarantees the first hit because of his windstorm and all that. But he has to actually like play the M1 game and hit you. Now the whole issue with that is his map pressure is very, very basic. So if you can't down them quickly with Wraith, which means if your M1 game ain't good, then you're gonna have issues. The reason why Freddy was so good, right, is not only because of the puddles. The puddles were amazing, right? They stopped loops, helped them down, helped him kind of keep pressure on people. But the dream state also put pressure on people because it slowed people down, made people want to kind of wake up. When you get to higher ranks, people stop trying to wake up as constantly. But also because of the teleport, right? So if he had Tinkerer, he would always go to the gen that's being worked on, go to it, boom, hit somebody, down them off the gen, create crazy amounts of map pressure. When you have people like, who else? Freaking Legion. Legion is awful. Don't care what nobody says. Legion's awful. Legion's not the best killer in the world. Definitely not. I ain't saying he's the worst killer in the world, but he's definitely not the best. Legion creates map pressure by, and I say that with quotation marks, by injuring you, right? He injures the whole team. But if the whole team kind of like plays smart and runs away, Legion can't really do much in that scenario, so he has to play the M1 game. So that's why Legion is like kind of seen as lower tier. And I'm not going to go through an explanation of all these killers, but the only other killer that I feel like is really, really important for me to mention is my main, Pig, right? So the reason why Pig is kind of a hard case to talk about is because her traps are built in gen slowdown, right? Because you have to take off the trap if you don't want to die. But the thing is, with Pig, the traps are very inconsistent, so the amount of map pressure that you can kind of get from the trap varies match by match, and it's very luck dependent. And as a killer getting rank 1, you don't want to really rely on luck in order to kind of, you know, not have the gens fly, because the hardest strategy to deal with is when people say they're getting quote unquote gen rushed, and that's because they're really not establishing the amount of pressure they need. And I understand that because it's really hard to establish that type of pressure. I really hope that makes sense to you guys. If you guys want a more in-depth explanation about each of these killers, what does map pressure really mean, and things of that nature, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be happy to do more videos like this. Let me know if you like the video. Please sub, because it really helps me out. And also check out the Twitch. You'll be in the description below. Come hang out with us. We're always having a great time. I try to stream as often as I can, but you know, college kind of gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great and amazing day, and most of all, have a great time in the fall.